Hello there, and welcome yet again to a Quarantine Cup playoffs. I'll be facing off against Lemon Spawn, while on the other half we have Heth facing off against Bitter Wormcoil. So, with me and Heth as the top seed. Or me then Heth then. Go on. We've got ourselves a Puka board. I've got the 3-3 or the 6-3. Anyway, a lot of trashing. Payload here is drawn stuff is a little awkward. Actually, quite awkward. I'm not sure how you make any of it go. You have shelters, but still, there's just pretty brutal. Scrap seems not unreasonable, but also scrap silver seems not unreasonable. Lemon's gonna take the curse. I don't know. It's probably okay, but I think I'm gonna do scrap silver. Seems reasonable to get a junk dealer. I mean, you still want to trash the coppers just due to the. So last card's a Necro. I can either get Patron or Militia here, I think. I mean, there are other options. Oh, I was confused about. Oh, whatever. Oh, I won't ask for that. Pair of Guardians does not seem. Probably. I don't know. I didn't even really parse what he was talking about, to be honest. So there's not really a terminal to worry about drawing. We can do hard. So there's also not a huge advantage here to This seems okay. We can get another Guardian. And then we can get a Militia or a Patron. Don't really know what I'm doing here. Stonemason, I think probably matters. This would be a painful spot. Okay, it can't happen. So this would be painful to get hit by the Militia on. Quite painful, actually. What are my goals in life and for this deck? There's really just so little you can do here. You can buy skulks and then scrap the skulks. That's not so bad. As a way of getting some deck quality. Charm doesn't really appeal to me that much. Sort of a hard sell. IMO. Maybe something to cycle in here, or we can just trash. Pretty good to kill the coppers as well. And buy a skulk. You know what, I've convinced myself that that's a reasonable get. I'll just play one of these. We did bottom deck the patron, so that was unfortunate. We could have trashed silver and then made sure we didn't bottom deck stuff here. Luminous trashing a little more. Well, I guess that's hard to. I mean, I played my junk dealer the 2 shuffles I've had it, so it's looking fairly okay. Still, like, gold is pretty good here, just due to the would have loved to. Oh, I just didn't have a patron down there. I was just confused. I was just totally confused. Taking a scrap, I think that makes a lot of sense. I wonder how hard you can go on the scrap stuff. I don't even know how good it is. Oh, they discard malicious. We don't have to necessarily worry about that. Let's do this. This is funny. And then we'll try and pick up another scrap. We could go double scrap even. I mean, at some point we've got like too much junk. Like, I'm not really disciplined here. The deck's just a huge mess. But I don't really see much reason to pass up on Province when you can afford it. I mean, at this point, anyway. Charming for Skulk and Patron. I'm not getting the greatest pairings of the scraps with expensive stuff at the moment. But that's okay, I guess. It's pretty awful. I just want scrap with Skulk in hand. That's all I want. This is, or scrap with junk dealer. I would have put it on a junk dealer for sure. Playing the junk dealer here is unlikely to like help me. Pretty unlikely to help me. I have a bunch of scraps, but okay, this is better. So unfortunately, sure. I don't know what it was that, but fine with me. Okay. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. Get another guardian. Silver, I think. There's no way to like the still not really sure that that is any good. But assume they'll just province. Probably go one guardian, one silver. I'll probably guess it's not totally clear. They're lowering pretty far. I wonder if we're to a pile out. And we're not quite to a pile out, but we're not a million miles from it either. Actually, let's do 2 money now. They really need to buy a province. Okay. Well, this is, again, probably not a win, but not a million miles away from one either. Take that. Probably be silver. Let's take a duchy here. We hit them, which is nice. I don't actually know if it's nice. They could still have whatever in hand, but yeah, they could still have province in hand. So probably end up just double duchying, yeah. I never accumulated villagers, which isn't surprising. I had one patron, but We will have province here. There is something to be said for looking for pile outs as well. Assuming they don't get to province, hopefully. Even like Guardian's pretty hard for them to buy. Like that makes my pile out quite a bit easier. Then I only need. Well, I mean, it's still a little rough for me to actually pile out. They're going for it though. I think is. I mean, I don't know. It's not a. Okay. Well, this is nice of the junk dealer to scrap first. So we 2 stonemasons. No, we need $12. 3 buys. Still, so it's not that. We'll do 1 gold and see where we're at. This is still $1 short or $2 short, I think. We had drawn a have it. Just buying province is pretty good too. Go a little harder. We need 4, 10, 12. Yeah, we need a 12. This could go really bad depending on if we see the horses or not. I mean, that in itself is not really that good for lemon. Okay, so duchy isn't so exciting. Oh, I should have just double duchy. I don't know why I didn't do that, but this should be okay, but I should have just double duchy with this stonemason. That was pretty stupid. That was actually like really stupid. So where are we at now? We're not. Yeah, we're not there yet. And I also don't have. If we do this, I mean, just score a little bit. We're not going to shuffle again, but pretty stupid to not have double duchy the previous turn. Should have done buy, but the horse versus buy was pretty stupid. By me, like pretty bad. Because a Duchy Estate is a lot nicer. Okay. All right, that's it. Which is fortunate. It was probably pretty hard for me to lose from the position, but I did do some stupid stuff to make it possible. Like it should I mean, I was going for province by not just trashing the gold to the stonemason, but I should have done that. All right, I guess whoever won between Heth and Bitter Wormquill can hop in. All right. So this is a little awkward, right? You're gonna need stables. Leprechaun probably quite useful. Throne room important, but you really are gonna be somewhat at the whims of your stable, your opening hands with stables. So we'll see. This will be another silver. I mean, you don't necessarily want. Oh, this okay. Not good. Yeah, I mean, no stables on the opening versus them getting stables is pretty rough. There's not. I mean, it maybe not made up first player, but probably has ready. Certainly this is now pretty bad. I don't know if I even want a storeroom. It's hard. I really don't want. I could toss two. Could whatchamacallit. I mean, I do have a silver, so I'm at least buying stables. I guess in theory, you probably play like a card or two. I don't know how it works. You don't want to draw the stables dead. This seemed obviously worked out. I mean, worked out great. This I'll probably go copper silver by throne room, or maybe I can go copper leprechaun by throne. We probably have enough at this point. This is a very nice turn for Heth. Obviously, hopefully they don't have another very nice turn. Let's do leprechaun, throne room. We'll see. Could go bad, but they drew fresh again here, so that's pretty rough. I mean, they drew again right off the bat. Those are not unreasonable buys. I'm gonna go ahead and push this a little bit. Didn't do anything for me. Actually, it's really bad, right? There's not even. This is like nightmare draw. It's like copper, 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 or copper, silver, copper, throne room, expand, which is really quite bad. No, even there's a leprechaun too, right? It's copper, silver, leprechaun, expand, throne room, which is awful. I mean, it's very nearly unworkably bad. I guess you throne room the expand and expand. Well, we probably don't expand Lep into stables, but expand silver into stables. Copper. I don't even know. It's like unplayably bad of a hand. Maybe I shouldn't have pushed. I mean, there was like potentially very high upside. We could have drawn the throne and the expand in that other hand, but I guess either way, you're leaving too many credit cards. Like, you could play Storm. I guess I should have. No, I'd trash the Storm. Yeah, I don't know. It looks. Probably it was just no, like, actual. I mean, there were better shuffles, of course, but, like, this looks like it was just a terrible trigger in general. There was no, like, really salvageable thing to do. I mean, you can go something like this and hope next shuffle you have a really good time. But even this hand is still pretty scary. And they're drawing again, so this is a wish play and another wish activation for sure. So they should finish off the stables now, right? They've got a pilgrimage now. I mean, we could still win. There's always enough like end game nonsense here, but it's just kind of tough regardless. And that is the advantage of having the leprechaun in deck versus the leprechaun in trash. That is one big upside there. I think we're gonna end up having to throw this anyway. We can gain and play the wish or something. One, two, three, 4, 5. Doesn't really work out, does it? 1, 2. Doesn't work out well anyway. Maybe it's okay. No, it doesn't really work out okay. Or well, rather. It's annoying. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. What did they do last turn? Would be nice to have fleet as well. I do have more stables, I think. 1. I do have 6 to 4 on the stables, so I Technically, oh, good. They did it. All right. We're back in this. We're right in this. We're playing this game. Now we just gonna try and score a little this turn. Trying to think. Does Wish have multi-types? Wish doesn't have multi-types. This is 4, 5. I think I did this wrong. 1. I definitely did this wrong, but anyway. We could have done this much better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway, we still draw a little bit. Okay. We do have... Oh, that's interesting. I did forget about that. I don't think that's what I want to do, though. We could go bank. This isn't like perfect, but it's pretty good. Let's put pressure. I was thinking about fleet, but let's just put a little pressure on. You get 4 or 5 of the provinces. It's not that easy to hold a lot of duchy. There's really nothing stopping you from doing the fleet later on, too. You can get a necromancer off of Falconer. I'm gonna play this one as... What is in the trash? This is like relatively terrifying. Of a hand. Not completely terrifying, but relatively. I don't know that I'll end up with a leprechaun here. There are different things I can do as far as my first play. I mean, one thing is just to go... I mean, if I think I'm ending it, One thing is to do apprentice the stables and then play the stables with that same necromancer, and then go like throne necro. But I mean, that's gonna see 6 cards, so you'll probably see some of their action. I don't have very much treasure. They buy a fleet. Like if I can mill, if I can mill 2, or even if I can true triple, mill 1. I can like buy fleet. That's pretty hard to do, actually. Not impossible. There was some gain in play that could just be converted into purely money. I gotta think about it. We got another thrower in before we started here. But if we could go triple, I mean, as long as we get a fleet too, and we're getting in, still don't really know. Well, let's say we can do it. Let's do it like this, because there's, well, okay, there are like lots of like nightmare. Actually, that was like the worst possible as far as like security goes. That was like the absolute worst. There's also additional milling and stuff we can do with necromancers. Can also mill at the end if we have drawn storeroom. I mean, if we just like true quad, also we will just win. Like that'll be sufficient. Like they're not gonna score that many duchies. Simply aren't. We have 36 points. That's a little harder to do, but not impossible. Don't know if the leprechaun is important to be able to play. Don't really know what I'm doing. At this point, I probably don't need more actions. So it probably makes sense to save a little bit there. Okay. Well, I mean, I think I have. How many can I toss? 4. They're guaranteed to be like. There's also. Oh, there's still the falconer, right? Okay. So we can go double province. Like 36 is their net catching. We don't even have to, and this is already that. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Maybe even triple or like Dutchy or something. Run room. Door room. Oh, I think I got the treasures. They're dead turning their just made it swung it totally back in my favor. Yeah, there's no way to score enough. All right, well, thanks everyone for playing. Congrats to Heth on second place, and congrats to Lemon and Bitter Worm Coil on third place this week. Hope I will see you all next week. Take care.